Hey guys, uh, decided to do a garden tour, but I didn't take a shower, so this is how I look. Um, I'm gonna turn you around. You can hear squirrels fighting in the back and birds singing, but here we go. Turning you around and we'll see what we got going on June 8th. Okay, so here is my garden. And here's my car. So it's right next to my driveway and my garage. It's on the side of the house. Our backyard is shady and we have a weird sort of wedge property. So this is the back. It comes to a little triangle right there. And it's cottonwood season in case you see little fluffies flying around. Okay, so that's where we are, and there's the trash. All right, so I guess right by the trash we'll start. This is some of my aspirin mixed with water to spray on tomatoes. This trellis was $19 at Costco, and I'm hoping that these Scarlet Runner beans and this one Morning Glory will climb it if it warms up enough for them to grow. It's been a little bit chilly. This is a house plant that I brought outside for the summer, and this is a 1 acre ceramics pot that I bought a long time ago at their sale. Let's see. So I guess we'll start. Let's start at this. This is what's really happening here today. Not vegetables, but these are my peonies that I planted here. I think I did a video about this before, that when I moved here there was some peonies in the... Sorry, that helicopter scared me. So there were peonies under my trees, shaded by these big trees that probably when they were planted were small trees in the 60s, but now they're giant and the peonies were struggling. So I started separating, digging them up, and brought them on the sides of my driveway. And then once they were big, I went across my sidewalk down there, and now they are amazing. So I have this big white with little magenta flecks, and I have this magenta with no flecks, but you can see the little pollen in there. And then the only one that isn't those two is this pink one that's slightly, I don't know, it looks sort of like the magenta one if in the camera, but I promise it's different. So it's more pink, like dark pink. So I don't know why this one only have one flower this year. That makes me sad. But anyway, so these are them. They're huge. They're amazing, and I love them. So here's some more, and just going, just all along my driveway and my sidewalk. So that's one thing. Oh, and there's some more over there, just not as many. And there's a nice iris, and that's the trees where they came from. So, okay, back to the vegetables. So my tomatoes are here. I labeled them, or I tried labeling them, but then something happened, and now I don't know which tomatoes are which. So it's all surprise tomatoes, but they're pretty tall. So yeah, they're getting tall. It's been cold, so they're not as tall as maybe they could be, but I'm still happy with where they're at. There's one row here along this trellis. They'll grow up and then they'll hang on to the trellis. And then there's another row on the other side with another trellis. So, and I raised the trellises this year, so hopefully I won't have to. I did a lot of staking way up high last year because they kept growing. So that's my tomatoes. I've got, I think, 24 plants. So that's what's happening there. Here is sunflowers that I started. I have to cover them until they're big enough because the pests will eat the seeds or eat the shoots. So that's what's happening there. Oh, and these ones are ones a little bit leggy that Saxon grew, my son, at his class, and he brought them home. So I thought I'd plant them, see what happens. But they kind of grew a little leggy because it was probably not very sunny in the classroom. But fingers crossed. Oh, and I plant my tomatoes in grow bags, as you can see. And when I plant them at first, I plant small plants really low with just a little bit of soil. And then as they grow, I add more soil so because roots can grow out of the stems of tomatoes. So if you just plant them deeper, they'll just start new roots on their stems. And so then they'll have a good root system. So I'm probably going to add more soil at some point, but I just recently hilled them up and now they're really going crazy. These are weeds right now, but I got plans for these spots. I'm going to put corn in there, but I just got to pull the weeds and get that going. Milkweed, which is a weed, but we're keeping. This is some sweet potatoes that I grew from a potato inside, and so I created all these slips, and hopefully there'll be some sweet potatoes in this rain barrel looking, or half a barrel planter. And then this was like a clearance item at Meijer last year. It got real cheap. And this is another planter from 1 Acre Ceramics that I just put in there for fun. This is my bananas. They really don't like this cold, rainy, well, they like rain, but they don't like cold. So they're struggling a little, but I think that if it ever gets warm, they'll go crazy. I repotted them in this giant blue pot, and I bring them inside in the winter, so that's why they're not dead. These are my pineapples that I grow from, you know, when you eat the pineapple, you can stick the stem in the ground and get more plants from, or it'll start rooting. So that's what these three are. And I bring those in the winter too. They didn't do so well this winter, but I think I also repotted them, so maybe they'll bounce back. This is my lemon tree from inside, and last year I got my first lemon, one lemon, but I cherished that one lemon. But this looks like they're flowering again, so that's what their flowers look like. And here's some buds right here, so that is exciting. So come on, can you focus there? So cross your fingers that we'll have more than one lemon. Okay, so over here, these are my little beds that we started. I know there's weeds, but I don't care. So most of my weeds are actually this, which is a stupid oak that my squirrels planted. And there's another one. Yeah, got lots of oak trees in my garden this year. So these are beans. They're They're bush beans. I just planted here. I just put this tomato cage on them to sort of give them support when they grow. Then some flowers. These are Brussels sprouts. I planted them, this is the first thing I planted. Well, they do have a little caterpillar damage. You see the poop in there? That's poop. I'll find those guys later and kill them. Don't tell anyone I killed them, but they're doing pretty well, but I guess I thought they'd be bigger than this. So these guys are all Brussels sprouts. And I probably won't harvest any till fall. These are dianthus, and I don't know if you know this, but dianthus in my area, they come back. They say they're annuals on their, you know, their tags, but these guys come back for me, which is great. This is sage, which I planted for, you know, as an herb, but it comes back and now it's flowering and looking great. And I just saw some bees yesterday on it. And speaking of bees, their bees are from, oh, I guess you can't see it here. All right, I'll show you later. All right, so back to the garden. So the sage flowers, and there's a rose that I got on a discount. All right, these here, planted in these milk crates, are potatoes. So I got stacked up milk crates with potatoes. These are my peppers. I got 2 per bag, and they're bigger grow bags than the tomatoes. See, this is a tomato grow bag, and this is my double pepper grow bag. So some of these peppers look bigger, and those are the ones that I brought in for the winter. And then some of those didn't make it, and I replaced them with little plants. I think these are from seed. I grew those from seed, and these I bought this one. So that's what's happening there. So when you do that, you have them in for the winter, they will fruit right away, or faster than these baby ones, right? So I've got fruit on my banana peppers. I got fruit on my cayenne peppers. I think this one, it's not fruiting yet. So anyway, yeah, that's why I already have fruit on some of my peppers, is because I overwintered them inside. And if you got space, you can do that. I actually don't really have space. They kind of take up my windowsills, and it's a little bit messy. But I'm sorry, my fingers, that's how I roll. I am messy. So, and then these little peppers, these are just small varieties, so that's why they're still small with peppers on them. What's this guy? This is a shishito pepper. I don't know why it's so short. Anyway, oh, it does have a little bit of fruit starting. Okay, so that's happened. Oh, and I stuck a garlic clove in there. All right. Oh, and there's a little nasturtium I planted in there too. All right, over here, this is a new thing I'm doing. It's kind of ugly, but I made like a cage, and I put a bunch of soil and straw mixed together, and then I planted some more of those sweet potato vines, and I'm trying to grow sweet potatoes in this big tower. And then I was worried that the soil was going to leak out, so this time I put them in a Meyer bag that I think will disintegrate, and then but it'll be holding on better than just the nothing. So that's my plan there, but it doesn't look that great, but oh well. I don't have an HOA, so all right, here is carrots. I grow them in, these are recycling bins from my town. See, it says right there, and they are nice and deep, and so the carrots can grow down in there. And so I do have some carrots, but there's some weeds in here. So, and I tried to seed some more. Oh yeah, the little ones are coming up. I put some more seeds in there. I've been trying to germinate some more because I think some of them washed away and stuff. These little weeds. So, good luck for me and my carrots. And this is just for the squirrels. They like to dig them up. Here's my peas. These have taken a long time. It was very cold and frosted. So anyway, I got a pea already. But it should have been here sooner. But c'est la vie. This is my garlic. It's very weedy, and the squirrels have been digging in there, which is annoying. I gotta get squeezed between these two rows. I didn't give myself enough room. Okay, so there's the garlic. This is a tower of strawberries that is struggling a little. I just restacked it, and I'm gonna get some more plants to put in. But fingers crossed they'll bounce back. And then here is the other bed. This is my flowers bed. These are all seedlings that I grew from seed myself. Oh, no, not the snapdragons. My snapdragons I bought. Usually my snapdragons overwinter outside and they come back, but they all died for some reason. So anyway, I got snapdragon zinnias, chrysanthemum painted daisies, and cosmos. And this is chard. I don't like to eat the chard, but I think it will look nice because it's rainbow, so it'll be good foliage. And I think these are all borage that just started growing. I don't remember if I planted those or if those seeded themselves. I think they seeded themselves. But borage is a big flower for the bees. They love it, so I'm excited to have borage. Because we have bees, but again, you can't see them yet. All right, this is a perennial globe thistle. And then this is a bed that I need to plant, but there's a maple, another weed, maple trees and oak trees, but I think I'm gonna save these maples. All right, this is artichoke that I planted from seed. Got really attacked for a while, but now I think it's bouncing back. Cross my fingers. Strawberries again. These are some more flowers. This is poppies from seed that are about, there's the buds finally. There's another artichoke. This is California poppies in Michigan. And these are cannas that my brother plants cannas, and then he has extra, so he shared his with me. This, I thought it was calendula, but now that I look at it, it looks different. So I guess we'll see what it is once these flowers come up. I hope it's not a weed. I've been caring for it. This is my zombie to scare away the deer because we've been having deer. See him, he's scary. And he is motion detecting, so I'll turn him on and see. So mostly it's when it's windy, he'll do this. Because we've had deer, and that's very unusual. And so I tried to scare them away. I don't know if it worked or not, but all right, this is my greens and my herbs. And I just saw something is, I think this is spinach that's bolting. Oh no. I'm gonna cut his little head off. See if I could make him live a little longer. Come here. Why is he doing that? All right, spinach and lettuce. Man, the spinach is bolting. I gotta plant some more spinach. All right, so spinach and lettuce. I've been eating this a lot. This is some dill, which mainly I planted for caterpillars because I love the swallowtail caterpillars, but I haven't seen any yet. But this is more lettuce, delicious. And this is celery. And the first time I grew celery, oh, there's more oak trees. But yeah, it's coming along. And so I'm excited to have celery. Here's a new rose bush I just got from Aldi that bloomed. This is my new grape trellis because my grapes have gone crazy and I couldn't get around them, so they went over me and now I'm under them. So these are gonna be grapes, and this is their trellis. And then there's my bench, and there's the solar panel. So that's what's happening here. Grapes are going crazy. This is another artichoke. This is a nettle that just popped up in this pot, and I kept it because I think you can make tea out of it, but I don't want to get stung, so better move it aside. Okay, so the grapes. Now this bed used to be my strawberries, and there are strawberries in there, but it's sort of overcome by weeds, and I need to get in there and dig that out. But I planted a plum tree there, and I moved the fence out so I can get in there and dig, but the fence over here is my blueberries, and I protected them from the birds, and I think the deer ate the plants, ate the trees down, so that's why this fence is up. But if you can see, let's see if I can, you can see there's berries growing on these plants, so that's exciting. And I also got a weed in here too, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And also down in there are cranberries, but they're hiding under the weeds. But I think they're still alive, so that's good. All right, so this is the net to keep the birds away, but behind there is, I was telling you about our bees. So those are our bees. They're actually Scott's bees. And he decided that he was gonna, I don't want to trip, that he was gonna do bees. So he took a class, he bought all this equipment, and he's there right now at his class. So far, the taller beehive is thriving and crazy, and the smaller one is having an issue, but hopefully he'll figure out what's wrong with them and he can help them. But I can see them coming in and out. Maybe I'll turn around and get a better angle for that. But this is some weeds that are overgrown, but then this is a pitcher plant. No, not a pitcher plant, a cup plant that grows really tall, and the cups are these leaves. They make a little cup down in there, and then the bugs drink water out of them. And then this is my raspberries that are doing okay, except they're getting a little shade from the grape. But they're still fruiting, which is good. And then there's blackberries, which are doing way better and climbing up my trellis and stuff. I don't like them as much as the raspberries, but I'll take it. Oh, and in my grapevine, there's this little bee's nest, or bird's nest. See it? I haven't seen the birds. I don't know if they're scared away or what. So, and there's the solar panel that charges our batteries for our lawn equipment. Here's my little watering. Oh, this is my soil and stuff. Here's my watering station for the bees and birds, and you know, got a little bit of my junk. And that's a little solar thing I got at Five Below. So the bees definitely go in here, and the rocks are to let the bees have something to sit on when they drink so they don't drown. And this is a new solar fountain that's charging in the sun, and my old one is practically dead. It's hardly pumping anymore. All right, so this was my original garden bed that I had in 2020. I know it's got some weeds, but it has a lot of my herbs. So there's thyme, parsley, chives. Oh, my hand is making it so you can't see what it is. This is asparagus, this fluffy guy. And it's actually doing well this year. I don't think it likes this spot I'm in, so I might move them. I gotta look into that. I don't really know when is a good time to move them. Maybe in the spring. I'm not sure. So then these are black-eyed Susans. I have a lot of those. All these little ones are also black-eyed Susans. Then there's rosemary and oregano. So basically this is my herb bed and weeds. And then here's my little bird houses, bug houses area. And let's see. And then here's another view of the raspberries. So these are what they look like as they're growing. This is one that just looks like a flower right now. See a little fluffiness, and that's where the bees go and they get their pollen, and then they pollinate it, and then it's little fruits. But this guy is a blackberry, and the blackberries are thornless, which is nice, but the berries aren't my favorite compared to the raspberries. But so let's see if I can see any. So they have some buds, but they're not open yet, but they are climbing and moving and trying to go crazy. So, but I'm letting them, so whatever. There's some more sage. This is my flowering, or my hardy kiwi, supposedly. It's never had a fruit or a flower, and I think it's because there's a pest in the early spring that comes, and I think it just sucks the flowers dead and then never had fruit. So it's a bummer, but I'm still letting it grow. And this is our trellis. I should back up. This is our cattle panel trellis that I grow things on, and this is my pandemic pod that I never ended up using. But it's like to keep myself safe. But anyway, I use it for a little sort of a garden shed. It's hiding some stuff inside. So these are this planter I found on the side of the road by up the street. So I stole it, or not steal it, but it is free. And I planted some climbing stuff in it, but something keeps digging it up, and now it's got a little pest. So I put this on it to try to, where's that damn helicopter again? What the hell is going on? I keep trying to see it. Maybe it was an emergency, medical emergency. Anyway, all right, so here, this is a morning glory I'm trying to keep alive so the pests don't kill it. But I have I think I have raccoon pests, and then I have bug pests, and so I'm trying to keep it from dying. This is a squash, the same problem. The raccoons or somebody was digging it. So I put this on so it can give it a little chance to grow. That's my compost pile, so don't look, it's gross. All right, so I also have some beds to plant over here, but I have not done it yet. And see, here's a blackberry that just came, so it comes down under the ground. That's how it keeps going. It plants itself by climbing and then getting to the ground, and then it pops up another plant from there. So maybe I'll dig this out and give it to somebody. There's another one right there, right here. But so anyway, behind that, I just today planted them out. I had them planted in inside some scarlet runner beans to climb up this trellis and make beautiful flowers for my bees. Oh, there's the bees, you can see them. Let me go zoom in. That's the little opening for the hive. And sorry, I'm trying not to get, but see if I can go check them out. How cool they are. Now this is the good hive. Look at the pollen on their little legs. And they're doing their thing, talking to each other. Now the other one, it's a little slow, and Scott thinks maybe their queen is dead, or I don't know if they got a problem inside, but they're still trying. He might buy them a queen and see what happens. But anyway, that's these guys. They're very nice and sweet. This is a peach tree I planted. This was last year I planted it. But it is also one that gets attacked by the weird bugs I get in the spring. So its fruit is always stolen by those guys. But maybe one day it will be strong enough to fight them off, or those guys will have a problem. All right, behind the bees is another peach tree that I planted longer ago. It's been here a long time, but every year, like I said, these little bugs that live underground come out, and then they see these are peaches, supposedly peaches, but they suck them dry, and then there's no peaches for me. So it's sad. But like I said, one of these days, one of these years, the conditions would be just right. But sad. So this guy behind me, this is my greenhouse. It's new this year. I bought it with my Target gift card that I got for Christmas, because I stopped shopping at Target, but I didn't want them to have the money from the gift card. So this was the last thing I bought from Target, RIP. It is small, but check it out. So this is how it looks. Put it up myself, and I'll take you inside and show you what's happening in there. So because it was very cool this spring, it's been a handy thing. I'll close it. It's been handy to have. It has a zipper on both ends, and it has these little windows that you can roll up. I don't know if you can see because it's a little bit crowded in here. So I put up these little racks on the edge, and I put in some plants there. But problem is the wind sort of knocks it about, and all the things fell down. So I got to rethink that. I put a little chair in here, and I made a little sort of makeshift potting bench with pallets, and this is like a mesh sort of sieve to sieve out rocks from dirt and stuff. And so what I did in here, so I've been, you know, planting seeds in here if it's raining, so it just makes it, you know, it's warm in here and it helps. So but what I have growing in here so far is, this is a potted, this was a clearance plant from Lowe's, hanging basket. I'm trying to get it to come back to its former glory. That's why it was clearance. So I deadheaded a bunch of these more I guess they're dianthus or carnations, and I don't know what this one is, sort of a foliage. So I brought it in here to sort of give it some sunshine and just to try to get it to perk up. I was gonna give it to my mom for her birthday, which is this month, but it's not as far along as I thought. So we'll see next weekend when it's Father's Day. And we have a birthday Father's Day combo party. So we'll see. But right now it's, I don't think, it'd just be my plant. And here is one of the bigger grow bags like I have my peppers in, and I decided to try to have a tomato in here and a squash in here to see if I could, you know, get a faster harvest from the heat, the extra heat in here. So they are doing pretty well. And then I'll have